Oh, I've been thinking about writing a letter to that woman who's the Under Secretary or something of Department of a Minister for the Disabled. She doesn't seem to have much of a clue. She doesn't know what impact it's going to have on people's lives. It appears to many disabled and very debilitated people that she doesn't care, nor does any of the other government, that we are the scapegoats, and we're not quite sure whether it's deliberate so that we do commit suicide en masse. I've read of people who consider setting themselves on fire in protest to the cuts. I've read many times people wishing they were dead, people feeling suicidal, and I completely understand them because I've gone through that too. I was thinking about when I used to have to check for bombs under the car in Germany when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was thinking about how proud I am of my children having lived through what we've gone through with so little support. Yes, it started in the last government, the bad treatment, but it's never been good treatment of people with abuse issues and health issues and anger issues. They've never ever helped people in that position, really, have they? They might put them on medication, lock them away in institutions, like that poor man whose father had flu and had to ask for respite care for his son, who is autistic, and his way of communicating with his father upset the staff, so they put him in some sort of correctional type place that people who are dealing with the health of the nation ought to understand a little bit about how that works. Unless they are deliberately trying to make people give up and die through their conditions being exacerbated by the stress of going through the medical, being declared fit for work like I have been. I definitely am not fit for work. I would love to be, and I will be one day. The stress of being declared fit for work too soon has put me back quite considerably. I was making quite a lot of progress, and not through the help of the health system or the welfare system, but because I am determined and stubborn, and I've used the time of being physically impaired to the state where I've become malnourished because I cannot self-care and I cannot get help for that care. I've lost my point. Because I've been set back, I'm going to cost more. Although it depends on the tribunal, which is still hanging over my head. I'm still living on... I mean, how are you supposed to live on £65 a week when your heating needs are higher, when you need your car to get around, when you need the internet so that you're not completely isolated because nobody visits you anymore because you're just too difficult to deal with, because one thing, the stress of it makes you sleep odd hours. And I know I've rambled here, but when I was raped, the man who raped me, well, both of them, the one when I was 18 and the one when I was 31, both of them didn't care about whether I wanted what they were doing to me or not. They just went ahead and did it, irrespective of my autonomy, my wishes, and being abused by the welfare system and told that you are not only work shy and a waster, but they unsustainable. Unsustainable. So you are, and you're told that you're a drain on society. Never mind the rich people who avoid taxes. Yeah, that argument. The rich people, the very, very rich, are never going to go through what I'm going through. They're never going to be living in a substandard house because there's no help available. They're never going to be destitute and begging to try and find the money to be allowed to live. That's the poor people. And people who lose everything through no fault of their own. I actually became ill because I did a charity event and there was an allergic reaction and I nearly died many times. I had acne from the medication, and I then go on to be abused by the welfare system. It just is incomprehensible how we can call ourselves a civilised country when things like that happen.